5 months, Wuornos would kill another 3 men. It was now becoming apparent to Florida authorities that they had a serial killer on their hands. The victims were found in 5 different counties, all shot with a .22 caliber handgun. Desperate for leads, police decided to release the sketches of the 2 women statewide.
When the composites are put in the newspaper, we start getting a lot of calls from the Daytona Beach area, from the Port Orange area, indicating that they were seen.
At that point, Tyra fled the state, heading north to Pennsylvania to stay with her sister, and leaving Aileen to fend for herself.
I knew I had nothing to do with any of this, and I had to leave. It's like I have to get away from her. You know, she's not going to ruin my life.
Aileen was on her own, desolate. She didn't know the game was up, but she was out of steam, she was out of money, she was out of energy, she was out of strength, she was heartbroken because Tyra had left her.
In late December, detectives discovered pawn shop records of items Wuornos had stolen from her victims. It was the braid police had been looking for.
She was identified through her thumbprint on the pawn shop ticket.
Police now knew they were looking for Aileen Wuornos. They followed her for about 2 days. Then they made their move.
We learned that the bar where she's been hanging out for the last 24 hours, they're going to have a large pig roast and a biker gathering. So with her history, we're concerned that she's going to end up on the back of a bike and be off and we'll never find her again.
On January 9th, 1991, at this Port Orange bar, aptly named the Last Resort, Aileen Wuornos was finally arrested. She would soon find herself caught between wanting to fight her case and needing to protect the woman she loved.
Tyra, listen, you just go ahead and do what you gotta do, okay?
Between November 1989 and November 1990, Aileen Wuornos killed 7 men along the highways of Central Florida.
Aileen was a predator just like any other serial killer. She was out there to take lives for her own personal gain.
With Wuornos now in custody, investigators turned their attention to finding her lover, Tyra Moore. They quickly tracked her down near Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Well, I was very cooperative. Anything I knew, I told them. I knew I didn't have anything to hide, because I knew I was nowhere around her when she did any of this.
We really had no evidence that she was knowingly participating in the robberies or the killings.
Tyra did confess to knowing about at least one of the murders, yet the prosecution decided not to charge her with any crime. But that leniency would come with a catch. Moore would have to help the investigators ensnare her former lover.
They arranged me to write a letter to Lee and give her the phone number of the motel I was staying at so she could call me, and she did.
Their first call came on January 14th.
Hey, Ty?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Nothing. What the hell are you doing?
Nothing. I'm sitting here in jail.
Yeah, it's what I heard.
I wanted to know where she was going with it. Or is she going to try to pin this on me? Or is she going to, you know, confess?
Tyra told Aileen that police were harassing her family.
There's been officials up at my parents' house asking some questions.
Uh-oh.
And I'm getting scared.
I think what happened, see, there was pictures in the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a case of mistaken identity.
As the calls continued, Tyra became more insistent that the police were after her and her family. Wuornos began to suspect she was being tricked.
Listen, I gotta ask you something. Is there anybody in that room?
No, just me.
What?
What?
Is there anybody in your room?
No.
But over time, as she sat in jail and listened to her seemingly desperate lover, Aileen became less suspicious and more determined to protect Tyra.
I don't know whether I should keep on living or if I should...
No, Ty, listen.
What?
You go ahead and let them know what you need to know if you want to know or anything. You're innocent. Listen, if I have to confess, I will.
On January 16th, 1991, Aileen took matters into her own hands. For more than 3 hours, Aileen sat in a jailhouse confession room, talking to investigators, smoking, laughing, crying, spilling her story to protect her lover.
It was a rambling, obviously spontaneous, sometimes somewhat disconnected dissertation.
I'm telling you, from the bottom of my heart, I'm telling you the truth about everything. I mean, I can't be any truthful.
Throughout, Wuornos blatantly disregarded the advice of the public defender assigned to represent her.
I told you, I don't care if you're here or not, I just want to let them understand that Tyra is very innocent. I don't want an innocent person hurt.
Wuornos admitted to killing 7 men, though she claimed to have done so in self-defense.
They got violent with me, and I decided to defend myself. I wasn't going to let them beat the shit out of her, don't either.
In the end, Aileen Wuornos was charged with 6 counts of first-degree murder. The story of the so-called damsel of death instantly became a national sensation.
It was a huge, huge story because women simply don't kill the way Aileen Wuornos did. They kill intimates, they kill loved ones. They do not kill strangers.
It shocked me, but to know how much she hated men and they used her and she used them, I wouldn't have put it past her.
Book and movie offers poured in to detectives, relatives, and even Wuornos herself.
I tried to explain to her what our laws say about benefiting from your own deeds, so to speak, or misdeeds. And I said, Aileen, you can do this. They may even produce a movie or a TV show, whatever. You won't get enough money out of that to buy a pack of cigarettes.
In one of the strangest twists in an already strange case, Wuornos caught the attention of a 44-year-old born-again Christian from Ocala, Florida, named Aileen Wuornos.
My husband and I saw her picture in the paper down here, and we just felt compelled from God to reach out to her. We didn't care about guilt or innocence.
Wuornos began telling anyone who would listen about Aileen's true good nature. She became fixated on visiting Wuornos in jail.
She was unable to visit because of the fact that you had to be a relation to the person in jail. So I said to her, if you adopt Lee, you will be her mother and you'll be getting visits.
On November 7th, 1991, Aileen Wuornos and her husband legally adopted Aileen Wuornos. Wuornos' influence became a thorn in the side of Wuornos' public defender.
Aileen would refuse to cooperate with me or refuse to communicate at all unless I had some contact with Aileen. If I wanted a cooperative client, I had to be taking care of Aileen.